Hey everyone, want to know what the next biggest trend that these former TikTok executives have formed? Video commerce. What is it? What we can expect in the next 12 to 24 months is explosive growth where you, the consumer, are going to be buying merchandise through TikTok style videos through your phone and tablet. It's already a proven concept in Asia and it's coming to North America. Who is the company and how? Find out now in our latest podcast. Hey everyone, welcome to the Dales Report podcast, and happy to be joined here today with Sam Jones. He is the CEO of OOOOO, who we had on a couple weeks ago. Sam, great to have you back on.
Good to see you.
How are things? How's life in the UK?
Things are very good. We're in the run up to Christmas, so I've had a few big events this week. We've just hired a new MD for the UK, and
Exciting.
hired a commercial director for the UK as well. So lots of investment of time into that, but it's great that we've got leadership coming in to back me up a bit.
It's exciting. For those watching, for those that already seen this is a fascinating story, getting a lot of attention from people because they love the concept, knowing that people already understand it because they're living this, which is video commerce. You know, the idea of people going to shopping malls and brick and mortar stores, yes, they'll still go, but not nearly as much moving forward. And the whole idea, obviously, is to bring that experience to your tablet or phone, which is what, obviously, OOOOO is about. And I really enjoyed our last conversation because a lot of the feedback that we got is that people are already seeing, like, where this is going. It's a proven concept in Asia. You have former Wish and TikTok executives on. And then you announce, obviously, this week a deal with a company called QVC Italia. And for those wondering what QVC is, it specializes in televised home shopping. Big news, it broadcasts to more than 350 million homes in 7 countries. So I could go on, but this idea of how it's expanding and everybody that I've talked to who loves this idea, how did this whole agreement get put together? And is this kind of an indication that you plan on bringing the concept to North America?
Well, we started this company just under 2 years ago.
Yeah.
It wasn't the reason, but we ended up starting it pretty much as COVID broke. You know, I think the company was registered the day that our Prime Minister, Boris Johnson, put everyone on lockdown, was pretty much the day we registered the company, weirdly. But we'd been planning it for some months before that. But yeah, we've spent nearly 2
Yeah.
years building video commerce in a box. What I mean by that is a technology platform that allows you to sell through short video and live video, but also uses gamification and allows a community to build a community and be rewarded for it. So we've spent 2 years building that, and not on purpose, but during that time, lots of people have approached us from other countries, typically commerce companies in older media formats than mobile and video results, billions of dollars of sales. How do we get this? So, you know, only an idiot would go to Brazil or Colombia or Portugal or Russia and try and build a company like this. So it seemed pretty obvious to try to jump into bed with the biggest company that had warehousing, logistics, customer service, products, brands, studios, but they just needed a new surface. So we first did this in Brazil. About 4 months ago, we launched with a wonderful partner called B2W. It's kind of like an Amazon style business in Brazil. And we've already launched the app. It's called OOOOO in Brazil. It's exactly the same app, all of the same kind of UI, UX. Obviously, It's in Portuguese, local currency, different payment gateway. But we launched it at speed into a new market, which is great for them, but it's great for us because we now have a stake in a company over there. And we've done the same into South Africa. Obviously, a great market to be in, very high mobile phone penetration. And we have a partner there that's allowing us to have OOOOO South Africa. Now, QVC, which we announced today, I can't say too much about it, but what I can tell you is obviously an iconic. We're really proud to be partnered with them. In terms of the details around when we're going to launch and you know all that sort of stuff, we're going to save it until it does launch. But It's a super exciting market and partner for us to be involved in. Italy and QVC.
When you look at your team, former TikTok executives, was this an idea that you both, all of you came together and created? Or was this like, how do I say it? Like moving forward, to have people with this kind of like resume on your team speaks volumes. And there's obviously certain trends that we're seeing in TikTok that people are gravitating towards, and that's not going away anytime soon. But what does this say about having people that are formerly with TikTok, and what can we kind of like envision where the whole, like I should say, video commerce or the way people shop is going to look like in the next 2 to 3 years?
When Eric and I said let's get into video commerce, we decided that we had to build it from China because the Chinese are 6 years ahead on this space. So from the very outset, we made a decision that there was no point launching video commerce in China. It's been done already. It's like trying to launch Ford motor cars in the US. It was done a few years ago. So our team is in China, but there was always an intention of exporting Chinese mobile video technology to the West. That was our goal 2 years ago. I think what we totally miss, or what we totally underestimated, was how companies in the West are not ready for video commerce. They're not set up with studios and cameras and presenters and space to embrace this new surface. So we've actually, as a company, we've actually over delivered on the technology, but we've totally missed on what we think it takes to get that technology to work, meaning you need studios and presenters and so on. So as a company, we've had to provide that. We've had to actually put it on. It's a bit like having a theme park. You've actually got to provide the car parks and the vehicles to the theme park, as well.
When you talk about being 5, 6 years ahead, it's a proven concept already in China. What is the conversations and feedback that you receive from a lot of people from the West, meaning in North America, as to what they think about the overall business model? Because as I said before, with all these short reels that you're watching now, TikTok started it. Now every social media like platform is doing the exact same thing. If you bring that experience, it checks off all the boxes to say the least. So I would think a lot of companies are thinking, yes, this is a great idea. And most importantly, we need to move fast. Or am I wrong?
Most, I shouldn't say most, a lot of people in retail are in denial. They think the old times are going to come back. They think that the shops are going to get busy again. They're not, in my opinion. And I might be the one that's wrong. But if you go into any department store in the UK this week, the busiest trading 2 weeks of the year, there's no one in them. There's an issue. Now maybe it's me and I just keep picking a quiet time, but I think the retail industry's got massive, massive issues. I think I think this the second no, and then the second thing is most marketing departments have become Facebook ad buyers. So they're actually not equipped necessarily to create this new form of content. They've not got the creative bandwidth or resource or equipment to create what's required. So I think that is, people push back a little bit on that because they're out of their comfort zone. Usually they're sat there with an Amex buying Facebook ads, and they convert well. They're expensive, but they convert. So I think that's been another thing of point of resistance for us. Like, some people are in denial, some people just want to resist, and then what usually happens is a market leader, let's just say like Nike, someone who is sets the tone in a category. Someone like that will do something disruptive in short video or live video, and everyone will say, "Did you see that? Did you see what they just did?" And then you've got this massive wave of people saying, "Follow them." And that's really what we're building up for.
Do you think that'll happen with you?
100%. This is why we took such enormous studio space. This is why we decided to start working with TikTok, not just our own platform. This is why we're spreading our seeds all over the world through partnerships. Is It's a much more efficient way to tell the story of your product or your brand or your service, to do it through an authentic video. It's The best way to sell the microphone you're talking into is not through a photograph and a bit of text. It's to sing through it.
When we think of endorsements and big name influencers or attractive people, like who do you get involved as far as talent that's putting together? Like, is it more everyday people that people can relate to?
I think the first step for us, because the West is so much further behind than China, the first step for us was building what we call a video mall, which is essentially a space for the leading retailers of the UK to go live. And in many cases, they're doing that with our presenters. That's like the safe space. Big retailer, lots of product. You know, for us, it's great to have them involved and for us to provide the presenters. So they can almost dabble in this new surface, but we take away all the friction. You know, we do it all for them. Someone that does our in-house podcast or is a model in our business, they want to do the live show, and we say, fantastic. You know, no problem. You know, you do it. Now, the next stage after that is a small business comes along and they say, um, I'm a one-man band. I want to create live content. I don't have any shops. All I have is in my Shopify, and they make content.
Let me ask you, how does the data backend work? Because let's face it, in this day and age, a lot of people have concerns with the amount of information that a lot of these companies are able to collect. So, if you're going after a specific audience, A, how do you collect that data? And is there some sort of privacy or protection for consumers that are using that protects from their data being shared to third-party companies?
Yes, I mean we're very hot on this in the UK, GDPR, in terms of how is a consumer's data protected. I think that the bigger question is for especially for a lot of North American companies is as soon as you mention the fact that you're a technology company with Chinese co-founder and Chinese team, people get very nervous about what that means. And all of the data in China, but the data on our consumers is held in the UK.
So as we bring this back, circling back to like I originally wanted to have you on was this QVC announcement. This is the second multi-billion-dollar partnership that you've brought on in the past 2 months. This latest announcement, how does this fast track, I guess, the company to where you want to be globally?
When we first started the company 2 years ago, we were very fascinated by this concept of bringing the live stream economy to the West. You know, this, I mean, we really, if I think back, we really didn't know what we were doing. You know, we knew there was a very big thing happening in mobile commerce, and we knew it was coming out of China, and we knew there's plenty of people addicted to shopping in the West, but we didn't really have a business model if I look back. Today, it's very clear to us, basically, a video mall, if you like, filled with retailers, brands, entrepreneurs that are in sports, fashion, electronics, beauty, wellness, and that's very active. You know, we're making live shows on this every day. This is the first 1% cut. This is version one. The second way we make money, and this only really became apparent to us in the last 90 days, was when we got approached by TikTok.
You guys were approached by TikTok. This isn't something you approached them with.
No, I think people know that we've been in the UK market for some time. My co-founder Eric came from TikTok, so we know some of the guys there, and we got approached because TikTok want to make a big play in the UK, and they're very interested in our studios, our presenters, our know-how. So we're now charging these guys for every single live show that we create with them. So this is the second revenue stream for us. First is our own marketplace. Second is using our own infrastructure for other people's marketplaces. And my prediction is that if you and I speak in 6 months, we'll be getting more and more revenue from more and more partners in Europe and the US who'll be saying, can we borrow your studio? And I'd like to think we're going to be the WeWork of live stream and video production for commerce.
When I look at the ideas, again, because, you know, I look at the brands that are partnering with you, and these are big, big names. So, do you have an idea as to where you'll be 6 months to a year or even 2 years revenue wise, and how fast you think obviously this industry continues to expand?
I think people know that we've been in the UK market for some time. My co-founder Eric came from TikTok, so we know some of the guys there, and we got approached because TikTok want to make a big play in the UK, and they're very interested in our studios, our presenters, our know-how. So we're now charging these guys for every single live show that we create with them. So this is the second revenue stream for us. First is our own marketplace. Second is using our own infrastructure for other people's marketplaces. And my prediction is that if you and I speak in 6 months, we'll be getting more and more revenue from more and more partners in Europe and the US who'll be saying, can we borrow your studio? And I'd like to think we're going to be the WeWork of live stream and video production for commerce. So this is the second. Yeah, I'll answer that when I tell you the other two. So the third way we make money is through these joint venture partnerships. So whether that's in Brazil with B2W, Italy with year, and it's I think it's realistic to think that a partner could generate something in the region of $20 million GMV within that sort of time horizon, each partner. And obviously they're all starting at different times and some of them are bigger markets, but I would be targeting $20 million GMV. And the benefit of us partnering with a very, very large group is we should achieve over 10% take rate for our stake in that JV after everything's paid. So if they're a big enough partner, they'll have lots of brands. If they're a big enough partner, they'll have very good margin. And if they're a big enough partner and we're folding in the tech, we won't have to pay to play in that market. So we should be taking $2 million per partnership, something like that, in kind of broad strokes. So if we can have 30 or 40 partners around the world, that gets quite interesting. Now, the fourth way we make money, and by the way, this is the most interesting from my perspective, is if we look after our partners globally and they are successful with our video commerce technology, we have a distribution point to say, dear partner in South Africa or dear partner in Colombia, we've just found a drone in China, which no one's ever seen before in the world. Can we sell it into your marketplace, please, as your partner? And we end up having this. There's no point being focused on it now because we've only got a few partners and they're all just trying to figure out if they can trust us and like us. But as we launch this video platform into other markets, I think that's the bigger play, that we end up having this low capex entry into a truly global market, and then we start selling products from the east, west, and that's where you can achieve 40, 50, 60% margin.
It's going to move fast, especially when it hits North America as well. Because as I kept saying, like people's habits have changed and they already have an idea as to like what those habits are based on their everyday lives right now with being locked down for the past 2 years with COVID. And to your point, yes, like there's just not like, yes, there are people still going to shopping malls, but the percentage is way down and it may spike a little bit if and when COVID does subside, but the cat's out of the bag and, people's habits have changed forever, knowing that technology just continues to advance and people are living their lives through a tablet and iPhone, right?
Well, exactly. And if you think back to when I was 10 or 12 and I was getting toys for Christmas, whether it was He-Man or Batman, who knows? But when I was in Toys R Us and you were holding that product, when was it made and when was it designed? Probably 2 years before that moment that you bought it. Now, what we're talking about is you buying from a video of a guy in Shenzhen showing you something you've never seen before. So not only is it an experience because, wow, I've never seen a gadget like that, but also you're getting something straight, well, I was going to say straight off the boat. It's not even on the boat. It's still in Shenzhen. So you're talking about a totally different purchasing process or cycle. And that's where I think we get to eventually. For now, it's a case of,
Think about even the fashion industry. If you go to the UK, for North Americans, they always used to say fashion was 4 or 5 years ahead of what you're seeing, obviously in America. But what that would even do too.
I think the British like to think they're stylish in that way. I mean, it depends who you're speaking to, but I certainly think the Italians are pretty stylish.
Well, listen, love having you on. Let's keep the conversation going. But it's, again, a lot of great feedback that we've received so far, and it's a fascinating story. But congrats on the latest announcement. And again, some big, big partnerships that you've already announced in the last 2.5 months. So keep up the great work, and we look forward to catching up with you after the new year.